Mind wandering is simply when your thoughts drift away from the topic at hand. This is extremely common. It'll happen to you every few seconds, but it's actually one of the biggest problems of your life that you probably haven't even realized yet. An example of mind wandering is when you're driving your car and you're thinking about an argument you had, when you're doing your schoolwork and you're thinking about a video game that you play. You're simply just not thinking about what is happening right now. And because of the state that we are all in, because of our heavy internet usage and our arguments and all of this stuff, most of the time when we wander into negative thoughts. There was an experiment carried out on this, and they pretty much concluded that when you're mind wandering, you are substantially less happy than you would be if you were present in the moment. Even when you're mind wandering to something pleasant, you're thinking about a happy memory or moment that you can remember, you're slightly less happy in that moment than you were if you were just mindful of the present moment around you. And this effect of being slightly less happy whilst you're deep in thought is amplified if your mind wanders into negative thoughts, which we know is very, very common. So you probably have set an aim to stop mind wandering, but I'm going to give you a disclaimer that not many other people seem to give on YouTube. Stopping mind wandering is impossible. The most enlightened, the people who have been meditating for 20, 30 years have admitted that they do not mind wander for perhaps a few seconds and sometimes about a minute. And even I believe that the minute that they say is actually an exaggeration. You cannot stop mind wandering. All you can do is make progress in this area and improve your mindfulness. The cure to mind wandering is mindfulness. It makes sense. Mind wandering is when your thoughts drift away from the present moment. Mindfulness is when you are focused on the present moment around you. So your aim shouldn't be to stop mind wandering. This is what most people want. We want to stop our negative thoughts. And if you go down this route, I feel sorry for you. It is I've been there myself, and it is not the route you want to go down. If you are critical when your mind wanders, if you judge your thoughts negatively and you just want zero thoughts, you will never get into a consistent meditation practice because you're bringing in this Western view of meditation. This is the complaint that a lot of people give. I tried to meditate, but I kept on having thoughts. I couldn't have zero thoughts. That's not how you meditate. And being stuck in this unreasonable, this wrong view of all of this will just leave you making no real progress. Eliminate this idea that you want to stop mind wandering and instead think, I want to improve mindfulness, because that will not exactly limit mind wandering, but as you further your research and your practice, you'll understand that more mindfulness will simply mean that you will realize you were mind wandering. And when you realize you were mind wandering, you have the ability to bring yourself back to the present moment. I'm doing that right now. I can feel gravity pulling me down in this chair. I can feel my toes are slightly curled up on my right foot and they're flat on my left, and I can feel the carpet in between. There is a specific process in improving mindfulness. I could just tell you, yeah, go and meditate like everyone else does, but if you've been watching self-improvement videos, you've been watching my videos, then you probably have tried. And if you've tried, you probably have not succeeded. And so I want to give you something more than just that basic advice of, oh, go and meditate. Because that's like telling a fat person, yeah, go to the gym. Technically, it's correct. Technically, you are right. But people need more guidance than that. So I want to present to you the mindfulness framework. This is what I made. And I personally believe this is the exact process of improving your mindfulness. You can do this whilst meditating, but you can also do this throughout your normal day. I can do it right now as I'm talking to the camera. You can do it right now as you're watching me. So here is the mindfulness framework. Now, you would think that we're going to start on the top left, as we always do when we read English, mindful of the present moment. But in fact, I want you to look at the top right to start with. Mind wanders into thoughts. Focus of senses is lost. Memories, plans, chores come into thought. This stage, the top right stage, the mind wanders into thought, is actually somewhat unconscious. You don't exactly know your mind has wandered into thought until you get that realization moment when you realize your mind has wandered into thought. And that is why I've split that. So you can see now the bottom right position, realizations of unmindfulness. Actually noticing you are no longer mindful of your senses and have been deep in thought. This is the stage in which you are aware that you are mind wandering. So this is when it comes into your conscious that, oh, I was actually just deep in thought about something. So for a practical example, you're doing the dishes, you're making food, you're exercising. This can be used at any point in your life. You'll be deep in thought about something. Let's say you're thinking about this one friend from high school, this one conversation you had with them. You'll be thinking about that in that memory of this person, and eventually you will realize, oh, I was actually thinking about this person. So the first step, the mind wanders into thought, was the original moment that your thoughts and your focus drifted away from the current thing that you're doing, so doing the dishes, into the thought about your high school friend. But the realizations of unmindfulness is the moment that you actually realize that you were thinking about this friend, and then you had the thought, oh, I was actually thinking about this like high school friend from years ago. That's the moment that you're going to start in the framework. Now, you can see the next step, reconcentrating on the present moment. This is the magical stage, and that's why I wrote 1 plus rep. Every time you complete this cycle, it's like 1 rep, 1 bicep curl for the brain. Complete the cycle as many times as possible. So after you realize you were unmindful, you progress on to just simply reconcentrating back onto the present moment. So you get the thought, oh, I was thinking about my high school friend, and then you just focus back onto doing the dishes. Simple. As soon as you've brought the focus back onto the present moment, you have essentially counteracted, eliminated mind wandering. And now you are focused onto the present moment. You are mindful. Congratulations. Enjoy it for as long as it lasts, which will be about 1 or 2 seconds. And then your mind will wander into thought again. You realize you were unmindful. You bring the focus back onto the present moment. You're mindful again. It's a 4-step process. I really like this. I made it myself, and I'm actually quite proud of it because I feel like this is, in my opinion, one of the most understandable ways to explain mindfulness. I've been through a lot of meditation apps and books and posts online, and when you try and ask people what is mindfulness, how do I become mindful, everyone has their own saying, but a lot of it is like, oh, it's when you're aware of the present moment. But what exactly does that mean? Now, there's a lot more I could say about this mindfulness framework. I made it a few months ago and I've been tweaking it and even furthering my own understanding of the cycle. And I truly do believe this cycle is solid. I've made a video course on it. I put it onto Skillshare. So yes, I'm now one of those people who tells you like, oh yeah, click on that link and you'll get 2 months of Skillshare for free. But it's worth it. If you want to watch my video course on this, there's almost like half an hour of lectures and I go into a lot more detail. So I will have that link. You can get 2 months of Skillshare for free, which saves you like $15-$20, and as soon as you click on that link and sign up, I also get $10. So put it there, bro. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for your affiliate. What's that called? Yeah, I'm grateful for you using my affiliate link. I'm trying to make that online income. So I advise watching this video course because I go into a lot more detail. But one more thing I do want to talk about and try and give you guys a bit more value on this video, the importance of mindfulness. I've been replying to a lot of people's comments and telling them to meditate, or at least telling them to improve their mindfulness. Because again, you don't need to meditate to improve your mindfulness. That's something that a lot of people seem to teach, and it is not true at all. As soon as you bring your focus back onto the present moment, after your mind has wandered, you are improving your mindfulness. Each time you realize you were deep in thought, and you simply just focus back onto what you can feel, what you can hear, what you can taste, you've done an extra rep, 1 cycle of the framework. The more and more you do that, the more you bring your focus back onto real life, the more mindful you will become. Mindfulness is extremely important. I've been teaching and saying that gratitude is the most important life skill. Probably is true, but mindfulness is either tying with gratitude or a very close second. It is everything. I'm going to be making a full video about mental health, and I'll be explaining why mindfulness is genuinely a superpower when it comes to bettering your thoughts. Because I'll tell you a little bit of what I'm going to be explaining. Mental health problems are pretty much entirely based off thoughts. Literally just any kind of mental health problem you can think of, like stress, depression, anxiety, intrusive thoughts, PTSD, anything really. It's about your thoughts. And if you're more mindful, you simply have less wandering thoughts and more moments when you're just focusing. You can just feel your heartbeat. You can feel the weight. You're literally listening to the person who's talking instead of thinking above their voice. Mindfulness aids the improvement against pretty much any mental health problem. And it even goes further than that. Mindfulness makes everything better. Tim Ferriss, the author of 4 Hour Workweek, was absolutely right when he made that quote. Mindfulness is a meta skill that improves everything else. And this is one of the few times where I can say literally, mindfulness improves literally everything. And I'm literally using literally in the right sense, in the valid sense here, where it is 100% true. Mindfulness, being more here in real life instead of up here, makes everything better. If you've got negative thoughts, if you've got anxiety, if you've got intrusive thoughts and you're imagining violent people around you and you're imagining that you might be getting into a fight like I used to, mindfulness will cure that. Mindfulness will do so far that you will feel comfortable in your own head, that you'll finally be able to concentrate on your schoolwork. And that actually brings me into a very important part. Mindfulness in the age of the internet, the digital age, is becoming ever more important. And yet it's a skill, it's a practice that you are never taught. You have to find it somehow online. And lucky for you, you have found this video. That is honest, you are very lucky for finding this video because you were never taught this stuff in school. You were never taught this stuff in work. You will literally never be taught this stuff. Maybe in 5, 10, 15 years, it'll be implemented into school programs and office work and stuff because they'll find out that literally it fixes all of the problems that people are feeling in these areas. But at the moment, you probably have barely heard of mindfulness, and that's why pretty much everyone has such a poor understanding of it. You're supposed to have zero thoughts, aren't you? No, you're supposed to have thoughts, but the process of mindfulness and the process of the mindfulness framework is that you're supposed to have thoughts, but you're supposed to acknowledge those thoughts and just bring your focus back onto the present moment, what you can feel, hear, taste, all of the senses. You're not taught this stuff, but good for you for finding this video online because you're literally getting information and knowledge that I genuinely think 99.9% of people have not gotten. So that being said, if you do want to further your knowledge and your understanding in this area, I am biased because obviously I've made the video course and I really want loads of people to click on it, but this is your own benefit. If you can improve your mindfulness, I genuinely believe you will come back to me and you will thank me. I am certain of that. And I think watching my video course with an extra 25, 30 minutes of lectures where I've broken all of this down and I've just gave very specific detail into this framework, along with some other helpful tips that'll help you with mindfulness, I really do think it will be a life-changing practice for you. I've specifically made my framework for literally just normal people who might have tried meditation once or twice, but who didn't understand it. And that isn't exactly how you stop mind wandering, but it's how you benefit from it. That's a fantastic way of saying it. That is meditation explained for people who don't understand it. The exact process of improving mindfulness through the mindfulness framework. So if that's interesting, scroll down right now. There'll be a link to Skillshare. You'll get it for free. You do have to put in your card details or your PayPal details, which I know is quite annoying, but honestly, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but honestly, it's one of those ones where you can literally just cancel straight after. So do as you wish. I get the affiliate link, the referral bonus. I get it instantly. So you can literally just click on the link, put in your details, sign up with your card. And as soon as you've watched my lecture all the way through, just cancel your membership if you want to do that. Otherwise, the membership of Skillshare is quite similar to one of Spotify and Netflix, where it's like $7 or something a month. Just keep it on and you'll actually get some benefit out of it. I honestly really do think, I'm going to repeat that same sentence I said before. I really think if you take the effort, and this video right now and my video course encourage you to actually get into a consistent mindfulness practice, I genuinely think you'll come back to thank me. And I want to see that happen, and I'm sure you do as well. I'm sure you want this reason to thank me, because that obviously means it's benefited your life. So go watch the video course. Take care.